Literally. Hi everybody, and welcome back to another video on Built by Africa, a platform where we have honest and solutions driven conversations about the development and the future of Africa. First of all, if you have watched every single episode, thank you, and thank you so much. You don't know how much it means to me. Every subscriber, every like, every comment, every share, every view means so much to me. Like, I literally go on my YouTube every day just to check, and I'm met with surprises, random comments from strangers, people that I've not met anywhere, views that I wasn't even expecting, that time and time again surpasses the number of subscribers that I have. And I do not take any of those things for granted. Again, I'm not doing it for the views, but I think it's encouraging that more people are seeing what you're doing. And I'm deeply encouraged by every single person that has liked, that has shared, that has subscribed, that has commented, that has viewed my videos. Thank you so much. It is very, very encouraging. But if this is your first video on this platform, welcome and welcome. Anyways, I'm saying all of this because if it's not obvious already, this is my final episode in this season. Not because I'm getting tired, not because I'm losing steam, but because the number of time that I've put into researching and preparing for every episode has not just taught me something, but it has continually sparked something in me. Africa is worth building, and Africa is going to be built. If you need an encouragement or someone to remind you today, I am telling you that this continent is going to be built. It doesn't matter what has happened over the years. It doesn't matter what is currently obtainable. There is a way, and we are going to build it. I have no doubt whatsoever. And that's what this platform is about. And so making research and reading and preparing for each episode has sparked and ignited something in me. It has opened me up, not just opened Africa to me, honestly, opened me up to Africa. My heart is larger now than it was when I started. I love it more here than I did when I started. And I know that's not what many people want to hear, but it's my reality. It's the honest truth. I've never for once doubted in the progress and the development of this continent. I think that's what has actually led me here. I believe in the potential. I believe in the people. I believe in this continent much more than anything. I don't want to say much more than anyone, but much more than anything. This is much more than just a YouTube video for me. I'm putting together what I want to see. I love this continent so much, and I believe that we're going to make it work. And so over the past couple of weeks, I've asked and we have asked so many questions, not because I want to point out the ills or the things that are not necessarily working right on the continent, but I genuinely believe that before we can build better societies, we must think differently. And so starting this channel wasn't to add my voice to the voices of the people that are complaining about this continent. If you've watched up until this point, you can literally discern the passion and the desire for growth on this continent in my eyes. So I wasn't going to add to the voice of complainers, but I just wanted to start a conversation or conversations that would make us pause and ask genuine questions. Questions like, why are things done this way? And more importantly, how can they be done differently? And so this season took us on a whole journey. We started about why I started this platform, and it's the fact that I believe that Africa needs more thoughtful conversations that go beyond social media. And then we explored geography, the vast difference between Africa and Europe, not just in economies, but also geographically, east to west, north to south, if you remember that. And how something as simple as how countries are shaped or positioned can influence trade, can influence development, and so many things. We also went on and challenged one of the most common narratives about Africa and why it is corrupt. And I went and spoke about how corruption is not actually the root cause. It is lack of love, because thinking about it, love is linked to development. And then next up, we went to the episode where I spoke about how African countries have been opening up their borders to one another, which is a huge step in the acceptance of brother nations. Because when we open our borders to one another, there will be free flow of movement. And when people are moving, ideas will move, money will move, innovations will move, things will move freely. when people are moving. And so African nations opening their borders to one another, it's not just a wise choice, it's an economic decision that would profit the entire continent. So in the next episode, I spoke about why we use dollar as a medium of exchange on the continent. We have 54 strong economies on the continent and 40 currencies on the African continent, and not one of those currencies are used to complete intracontinental or intra-African border trade, which is a huge problem because why are we relying on another person to help us communicate or to help us finalize trade on the African continent, which is a conversation that I desire to actually dig deep into, especially as we go into another season. And so the next we went into how Asia worked, and this episode discussed how East Asia, which at some point used to be the poorest and the poorest of the poorest countries in the world, but through some sort of miracle, the East Asian part of the world rose to become some of the richest countries in the world. Countries like Japan, like South Korea, like China, like Taiwan, like Singapore, and how they studied one another. In that episode, we looked at East Asian miracle and the demonstration effects, how one person's success dramatically reduces the psychological barrier for the other person. So it means if one person can do it, the other person can do it as well. We explored whether one African continent can become the Japan for Africa. And so in the next episode, we looked at GDP, which is a very flawed way of gauging the prosperity or the success of a country. Finally, we looked at political apathy and the uninvolvement of youth in politics. And it's pretty ironic because 70% of the African population have people under the age of 30. So it means we have to get into that political space. And I mean, when I started this season, I spoke about how the future of Africa will be built not just in the political space. So I was specific about not just focusing in politics, but we cannot deny the fact that it is very important. Very, very important. And so the people that lead us, how they lead us, makes things either easy or hard for us. And so while we on our own are building and doing other things, politics is something that we cannot shy away from. We cannot continue to shy away from that. Africa is not waiting for a miracle. We're not going to sit and wait for the Western world to come and build for us. Africa is waiting for builders, intentional, deliberate, solutions-driven builders. You are one of those builders. I am one of those builders. One thing this podcast has done for me is pushed me to learn more than I thought was possible. Like my algorithm is literally riddled with content about Africa, about the world, about news. It's just things going on the continent. I think it's pretty interesting how just one decision, one choice can completely turn things around. Every episode has forced me to make research, to study economics, to study data, to study history. I literally have some books that I cannot wait to get my hands on just because I decided to do this. I'm so glad that I did. And interestingly, the more I learned about Africa, the more hopeful I became. And the journey has convinced me that the future of Africa is not predetermined. It is built day by day. It is built by entrepreneurs. It is built by teachers shaping the next generation, by engineers that are building infrastructure, by public servants who choose integrity, by artists changing narratives, by researchers asking difficult questions, business owners creating jobs, by citizens who decide that excellence does matter. And yes, by people like you and me. As we come to the end of season 1, I have just one favor to ask you. Don't just listen to this conversation. Continue them, challenge them, disagree where you think I'm wrong. Share them with someone who loves Africa as much as we do and who thinks deeply about Africa. And if you missed one episode, I would encourage you to go back to watch and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, because every episode is a part of a larger conversation, and together they tell a story about what it would take to build Africa. This is just the beginning. There's so much more conversations that we are going to have, many more questions to ask, and hopefully more businesses to inspire. Because at the end of the day, this is not just a YouTube channel. This is an invitation to believe that Africa is worth studying. Africa is worth serving. Africa is worth investing in. And above all, Africa is worth building. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. And I'll see you in season 2. We're not just coming back, we're coming back better, bigger, bolder, with more conversations, richer conversations. Thank you so much again and again and again. I would never get tired of telling you thank you because you don't know how encouraging this has been for me. This is bigger than you, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than us. It's not just for the past, it is for our future, and most importantly, for the future of Africa. Thank you so much again. My name is Odunayo and I remain your host. On this platform, we're having honest and solutions-driven conversations about the future of Africa. Don't forget, we're building Africa by Africans, for Africans first, and then the rest of the world. Bye! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every like, every share, every subscribe, every view, every comment, I'm deeply encouraged by them all. Deeply, deeply, deeply encouraged. You're encouraging. I'm coming back bigger and better. Are you ready for me? Literally.